O'clock, it's the news headlines with Moira Stewart.
From the newsroom, the main stories at 3 o'clock. Myra Hindley, the Moors murderer, is having lengthy interviews with her solicitor amid reports that she may confess to killing 2 more children. On Hindley's information, the police are still searching Saddleworth Moor. They say they now believe 2 more bodies are buried there.
Greater Manchester Police resumed their search of the moors earlier this week after Myra Hindley's second visit to the area, carried out in total secrecy. The man in charge of the operation, Detective Chief Superintendent Peter Topping, says he's now certain bodies are buried near Shiny Brook, which is just on the Yorkshire side of the moor.
In Northern Ireland, 2 people have been shot dead in the last 24 hours. In the village of Ederney in County Fermanagh, a soldier in the Ulster Defence Regiment was ambushed by 3 masked gunmen as he arrived for work. The second murder was in North Belfast, when a Roman Catholic was murdered at his home.
Lawrence Marley was lured to the front of his house by gunmen who pretended to be friends he trusted. Mr. Marley was shot dead through 2 doors. He'd built a second internal security door because he feared just such an attack. Mr. Marley, the father of 6 children, was a well-known Republican in Ardoyne. He'd served 14 years in prison for IRA membership and the possession of firearms.
The Dutch salvage team working on the capsized Townsend-Torresen ferry off Zeebrugge says it'll try to pull the ship upright on Monday. In London, Mr. Justice Sheen, who'll conduct the official inquiry into the disaster, has been discussing its structure. He said the main question would be why so many lives were lost so quickly.
With the fair weather holding, the righting operation should be relatively straightforward. In principle, heaving on one side of the ferry while hanging on to the other to ensure she doesn't slide along the seabed. And the next couple of days will see the awkward task of positioning the barges and floating cranes which will accomplish the righting. 2 floating cranes, enormous gawky objects, are already alongside.
The second favourite for tomorrow's Grand National, the Thinker, has been withdrawn because his trainer doesn't think he's fit enough. The Thinker won the Cheltenham Gold Cup and had been quoted at 7-1 for the National. West Tip, who won last year, is now very firm favourite, the shortest since Red Rum in 1976. The next news is just after 3:55.
Hello, spare a thought for the West Country. They've been getting everybody's share of rain today. Still raining quite heavily in places, but that rain is now moving up into some other coastal counties of southern England as well. The rest of us, well, cloudy, but on the whole dry this afternoon. Just the odd spot of rain in places, even a little sunshine in northwest Scotland too. But mostly cloudy, mostly cold, and mostly pretty windy as well, with temperatures around 7 to 9 Celsius. Very disappointing for April, 45 to 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, that rain moving a little way north, a cloudy night for most of us, probably too much wind for any frost. Temperatures 4 Celsius, 39 degrees Fahrenheit. And tomorrow it looks like being another showery day and still cold and still breezy. Back to Aintree.